If a man has not discovered something he will die for, he's not fit to live. That's a quote from Martin Luther King. I thought you'd like it.
It's unsettling to me how perfect her teeth are. Also, I don't know what you're trying to say, Chloe. I don't know why you thought that I would like a quote from Martin Luther King, or that one in particular. I don't know what you're implying about me. I don't know where you got your information from. I'm not saying that I wouldn't like that particular quote from Martin Luther King, but I just feel... I mean, she's staring at me pretty hard right now, and I feel like maybe I'm being profiled, but who's to say? David Cage really thought he was doing something by putting this quote in the game, and I think it's really funny because I don't think that David Cage is the kind of person who would die for anything, personally. I don't get the impression that David Cage is someone who cares enough about injustice in the world to die fighting it, but whatever, I guess. He made this game and he thinks that's his contribution. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I did have a little...
By the way, did you know that you can review your story progress in the story chart section? You can also see the choices made by other players there.
I appreciate you interrupting me, Chloe. I know that you can't hear me, but it's a bit rude. Yeah, I worked a little bit in the morning, and then I was just like having too much pain, and I over-the-counter painkillers like don't do enough for me because of how bad my pain is. So I asked for the afternoon off, and I watched some Twin Peaks, and it was like the part of Twin Peaks season 2 which is probably like the darkest, most like unsettling, unnerving shit. If you know, you know, around Twin Peaks episode like 14 through to 16 is like, it's quite hard to watch. It's like very, very dark and very disturbing. But anyway, I'm going to a screening of Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me on Saturday, and I'm trying to finish my season 2 rewatch before then. So, had a little chill, sat with Layla, watched some Twin Peaks, and now, but now I want to hang out.
I don't know if I mentioned this, but I like your interior decorating.
What?
It really reflects your personality. I mean, I like it.
Okay, this is a bit creepy. She's trying to act like she can see into my room. You're lying. I know you're lying. Not trying to silence a woman, but she is interrupted. She is interrupted. She's trying to silence me. You know, I'm not trying to silence her or anything, but she's trying to silence me. And a white woman taking up space yet again. Yeah. That is what she's doing. God, she never shuts up, does she? This white girl is David Cage's self-insert. We're not... I guess we're not vibing with Chloe today, huh? Okay, anyway. That's my pre-game rambles. Before we get into the game today, shall we have a quick catch-up on our clumsy race metaphors list? The clumsy race metaphor counter is at 12. I remember that a couple of you placed bets last time on how many clumsy metaphors we'd get before the game was through. Faye bet 9. We're past 9 at this point. Aeon bet 12, and we are currently at 12. So if anyone wants to place a bet higher than 12 for the amount of clumsy race metaphors they think we'll get by the time the game is over, please feel free.
If you find the game too easy or too difficult, remember, you can change the difficulty settings in the options
Thanks,
section.
Chloe. Okay, Holocaust imagery, 1. Androids as slaves, 2. Androids as live-in domestic labor and nannies, 3. Anti-migrant rhetoric against androids, 4. 5. Jim Crow against androids. 6. Markus Luther King and the android civil rights movement. 7. Mixed girl poetry. 8. No blacks, no dogs, no Irish, no androids. 9. Comprador Connor, an android designed to hunt deviants. 10. Passing as human. 11. The Underground Railroad to Canada for androids. 12 human, or I guess android experimentation. So we're at 12. Lost and Fairy ups their bet to 20. Lalin is placing a bet of 15. Gazebo Kid says 12 isn't as bad as I thought, depending on how far in you are. I'm just over halfway, I think. So, you know, but I mean, I will say we're just over halfway, I think. A little bit over halfway. Depends on, I think, like, how well the game goes, because, like, some people can die and that can change the length of your playthrough and blah, blah, blah. Although I am playing on casual, so... what was I gonna say? I know that, like, a lot of the world building happens in the first part of the game, so that's probably where we were gonna get the chunk of them, but there's a lot of time left.
I don't know if I mentioned this, but I like your interior decorating.
Okay.
It really reflects your personality. I mean, I like it.
So I'm going to write down your guys' bets. Lalin bet 15, Gazebo Kids, I'm guessing it's you on the account, Fia, is guessing 23, and Faye is betting 20. Okay. Alright, I've made a note of that. 25! Do I hear 25? Yeah, I'm not sure how many scenes there are in total, because I didn't count, but I have been, like, looking at, like, a list of scenes to just reference roughly where I'm at, and I'm over halfway, I think. I'm walking Fia. That's my new catchphrase. Is that a pun that I'm, like, missing right now? Okay, cool. So that's where we are with the clumsy race metaphor stuff. Last time that I streamed, I also put a little game into effect that if people can afford to and like to join in with, that would be really great. So as some of you will be able to see, we have a donation bar on the screen at the moment. We're still raising money for medical aid for Palestinians.
The most important thing is not to live.
Oh my god.
But to have a reason to live. That's a quote from Jean Genot.
I've heard enough about Jean fucking Genot. Anyway, we're raising money for medical aid for Palestinians. Our goal is £2,000. We're £235 roughly away from that. The suggestion that I was making last stream was, based on what you can afford, choose like a unit of money, like £1 or £5 or £10, and for every clumsy race metaphor that we come across that we add to the list in the stream, pop a donation to our fundraiser if you can afford to do that and if you would like to do that. So for example, if we, you know, get 5 metaphors in the stream, you can donate £5 if you had chosen £1 as your unit of like how much you would donate per metaphor. If you would like to do that, then you can pull up the donation link by typing in !Palestine in the chat, and that will pull up our donation link. And if you do throw a donation our way, please let me know in the chat so that I can.
By the way, I'm an ST200
okay,
model.
Girl.
I mean, I thought you might be interested to know that.
So that I can thank you, so that I can give you a little shout out. Okay, great. I think that's all our housekeeping before the stream today. I'm so confused as to why she's recycling the same lines, because I know she has more than 3 things to say. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she has like a bunch of stuff, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, let's hop back into the game, shall we? Oh, okay. We're back with Markus, I think. We're jumping back in with Markus. And, so Markus found Jericho, and, we are going to steal some spare parts from a CyberLife, facility.
This is crazy. If they catch us, we're dead. What do we do now?
We need to find the CyberLife warehouse. That's where they keep the spare parts and the blue blood.
Follow me.
Okay, hold on 1 second. I'm just getting in a comfortable position. I was a little bit on the quieter side, and the game was a little bit louder than I. So if I need to change the sound levels, just let me know. No problem, Fia. I hope you enjoy your dinner. What are you making for dinner? Okay, where am I meant to be going? Follow north. Where is north? Where'd she go? Where'd she go? Also, I'm gonna say this in advance. I swear to God that if there is like some kind of romance brewing between Markus and North, because I know it will be like really badly written straight people romance, because I know David Cage. I'm gonna riot. Avoid the drone. Ah! Shit. Ah! Fuck. Okay, where's North though? Like, I'm supposed to follow her, but I lost track of her already. Ah! Ooh, it's a roast potato, cauliflower, chickpeas thing with some cumin and other spices with hummus and feta. That sounds very nice. That sounds very good. I feel like just hearing that is making me think about like the nutrients that I need to be putting in my body that I have not been putting in my body recently. Okay, there are my bros. Okay, so for a little bit of political commentary, because that's what we're here for as always. I believe that these guys are kind of infiltrating the CyberLife warehouse in large part because they need the android parts because they are androids, and it's like, you know, they need it to take care of their group members who are like in need of medical care, basically. It's kind of like, I guess it's like analogous in a way to like they need medical equipment and they need medical like God, I can't really resources. Struggling with words today. And they are seeking that out to steal it from the facility. So they're not necessarily doing it like as a direct action to destroy CyberLife as much as they're doing it for their like own survival. But it's an interesting thing because it does invoke like certain direct actions where, you know, people do target like companies like shipments or like factories or things like that. It's like it's a quite different action from that in a lot of ways, but talk about
I'll find another way.
That a bit more if it becomes relevant as we move forward. I want nutrients. I just like have been having a really hard time with my health recently and having energy levels to cook for myself. Like good food is really hard and I don't really have anyone else to do it for me, so it is what it is. Yeah.
Climb up here.
Climb up where, girl? It's a bit dark. Okay. It's a good thing we're androids, huh? I was gonna say grip strength, but then I was like, no, they're robots. They can do anything with their bodies, can't they?
Warehouse is up ahead. We're almost there.
Cyberlife warehouses. We have everything we're looking for.
First, we have to get rid of that drone.
Leave it to me.
It's interesting because something that's coming to mind, I'm kind of thinking about like video games where like you are engaged in some sort of like direct political action, but like the only one that's coming to mind at the moment, I'm sure there are others, is Cyberpunk 2077, when Johnny Silverhand bombs Arasaka Tower. The thing about Johnny Silverhand's action in bombing Arasaka Tower is that, like, as far as I can tell, Arasaka Tower is just offices. It's not like an equipment factory or a weapons factory or like, you know, like a dock or a boat full of weapons shipments or a train full of weapons or anything like that, right? Because you know, in the modern day, you've got like groups like Palestine Action, like targeting factories and obstructing factories with direct actions. Back in the day, or like throughout history, you have all sorts of direct actions that are like just a bit more strategic in that way. Like, for example, I mean, yeah, with, you know, certain people these days targeting like shipping routes for weapons to Israel. That's like a thing. But one of my favorite like radical history tidbits is about the Indian independence movement and how, like, I mean, like, colonial powers are very invested in Gandhi and the kind of like non-violence you know, actions or movements against British colonialism, but there was a lot of violent resistance to British colonialism in the kind of early 20th century, and the Hindustan Socialist Republican Association was a group that kind of did actions like targeting trains. Obviously at that time it was like trains, primarily like overland, still to some degree true today, like trains and boats, I guess, doing weapon shipments for the British. So they targeted trains that were like carrying weapons for the British Army, and they like attacked those trains and they destroyed those weapons. And anyway, these kind of actions, they're like strategic. When Johnny Silverhand bombs Arasaka Tower, I'm kind of like, okay, is that performative though? Like, is it, like, what's the strategy here? Like, are you destroying this company's capacity to, like, produce weapons and, like, this, that, and the other? Are you, like, having an impact in that way? Or, like, what's the purpose of this action? You know what I mean? I guess it's just, it's something that, you know, I'm very in support of direct action violent resistance. I think they're more than justified. I think that it's a very valuable tool in the arsenal of oppressed people, one of many tools that we use to fight our oppression. But, like, it has to be strategic, right? And again, it's like targeting shipping routes or targeting factories can, like, halt weapons production, and that's the, like, strategic value of that. But in Cyberpunk 2077, with a lot of those actions, it's kind of like, okay, but, like, why are we bombing the tower? Like, what does it achieve to bomb the tower? Anyway, that's like a... It'd be interesting if anyone has any other examples of, like, video games that have, like, people taking like direct political action, like, in that way, direct actions like obstruction, or even like property damage, like bombing in the way that Cyberpunk has, and I, like, which I think is, like, a very specific thing that is, like, not the same as, like, non-violent protest, because we see that represented in media all the time because it's, like, a palatable form of protest, which is not to discount, like, that it's good, but, you know. Ooh! Mash! Sorry, I didn't read the mash. I thought I was just meant to tap.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Good job, Marcus.
Okay, North is
Quick, open the other
neutral
crates and
with
fill
me
your
now.
bags. Take as much as you can.
Okay, so we're just stealing spare parts, which is like, no, I mean this is good because they need it. They need the medical supplies. They're stealing them from Cyber Life. It's like it's all good, but it's not necessarily. It will be interesting to see how like their potential political actions like develop. Johnny's politics and actions are fundamentally flawed. Yeah, for sure. He's so allergic to building community.
You were trespassing on private property.
Oh god.
Your presence constitutes a level 2 infraction. I will notify security.
John! Goddamn machine! Where is it this time? John!
I need your help.
Oh, thank
John!
God for psychic communication between androids, huh? Hold on, I'll come back to our conversation in just a second.
First the drone, now this. Just my luck.
Okay. Yes, Johnny is, from Cyberpunk, is allergic to building community and thinking strategically. Also, he mostly bombed Arasaka Tower to free Old. Oh, yeah, that's right, he wanted free Old. Gerda, A Flame in Winter is one. Oh, okay, that's interesting. That's one of the Donut games I haven't played yet, I think. Final Fantasy VII. Oh my god, yes, of course, Final Fantasy VII. That's a great example. That's a great example. In Gerda, you join a group of communists fighting the Nazis. Interesting. In Final Fantasy VII, Avalanche bombs the Mako reactors, sucking the lifeblood of the planet. Yeah. I mean, that's like it's a pretty solid, like, strategic property destruction thing there. I know that Final Fantasy VII is really interesting. So I've never played the original, but I did, I think a year or two ago, I played, yeah, like a year and a bit ago, because I remember it was like Christmas and I was sick and I was playing it. But I've played Remake. I haven't played Rebirth yet, and we'll do that at some point. It's interesting in how the game kind of semi explores or raises the kind of complex feelings or the feelings of guilt that some of the Avalanche members have about like potential like collateral damage from the action that they take of like bombing the Mako reactors, because like I do think it's an interesting theme of like, even though, you know, it's very important to me, I feel that it's very important to talk a lot about how violent resistance is justified, and not only justified but often strategic, very often strategic. It has to be used strategically. I'm not saying that like we should use it all the time. I'm not saying it's the only thing, but it is like a very important part of resistance movements, and it's a tactic that like you know, imperialist propaganda wants us to think it's bad, and that's a huge part of the reason why it feels very important to me to demystify it and also like remove that stigma and try to fight that like moral opposition to it, because I do think it's moral and strategic, both of those things. But that being said, like nobody wants there to be you know, people who are fighting for freedom from oppression, like, we want an end to violence, like, to structural violence. I think that, you know, some small forms of violence are always going to exist within society because, you know, people are always going to hurt each other intentionally or not in some ways. But what we want to do is we want to end these, like, systems of structural violence, right? So, like, what we're doing and what these people are doing is in the name of liberation and of ending, like, structural violence. And nobody employs violence because they want to, or because they enjoy it, or because it's desirable, but because it's necessary. That's really important. It's necessary. It's not desirable, but it is necessary. And I do think that it's kind of interesting how Final Fantasy VII Remake explores those themes. I never necessarily felt like the game was trying to use, like, the moral conflict that certain characters, particularly Tifa, because I think it's more of a moral conflict for her than for the other characters. That's not, like, it doesn't feel like the text is being like, the action that they took was not justified, but it does explore her feeling of moral conflict about, like, what it is necessary for them to do to take down Shinra. I do personally have, like, critiques of Remake, and that's, like, you know, should be no surprise. Like, when we have these, like, big money, like, games, I think a lot of their politics are necessarily going to be flawed, and that's fine. But, like, Remake has some really interesting, really powerful stuff in that regard, so that's a great example. I appreciate that Jessie has issues with Tifa's heart not being in it. Yeah, 100. Jessie, my love, my light. Jessie is the real one. Jessie from Final Fantasy VII. Listen. Jessie is an underrated queen. The love that I have for Jessie, she's the MVP. Jessie is that's my comrade. That's like, and they were comrades, wink wink nudge nudge. Jessie is my girl. That's how I feel about Jessie. It's strong. I'm getting emotional about Jessie from Final Fantasy VII right now. Disco Elysium is a favorite of mine, and in that game there's a really prolonged organized union strike. That's on my list. I'm gonna stream Disco Elysium at some point because I've been saving it to stream with you guys.
Let's finish up and get out of here. Try to find some blue blood. We still don't have enough.
Okay, so we're stealing a bunch of therium. Check the bigger crate. Okay. What do you mean the bigger crate? Like, what are you saying? That one?
Why aren't you like us? Don't you want to be free? You could join us.
That's all we can carry.
Is
Let's go.
I swear to God, is Marcus some kind of fucking like messiah?
Take me with you.
Yeah.
He's on their side. We can't trust him.
He took a risk for us. We can't just leave him here. We can't bring them back with us. It's too dangerous. They come with us.
I know where you can find more spare parts.
What do you mean?
The trucks. They're full of biocomponents. They run on autopilot, but they can be driven manually with a key.
Where is this key?
Down there, in the control station. There are 2 human guards. We'll have to get the key without being noticed.
This is suicide, Marcus. Our bags are full. We got what we came for. Let's go before they catch us.
This is a truck full of spare parts. There'd be enough for all of us. We can't pass this up.
And if we get killed, our people will have nothing. We can't take that chance. It's too risky.
Wait here. If I'm not back in 10 minutes, go without me.
Marcus.
I'm coming with you.
No, I'm going alone. It's not worth it for both of us to risk losing our lives.
So excited for the Disco Elysium stream, so much political intrigue and silliness, and commentary on class and neoliberalism. That sounds exciting. Yeah, for sure. I think, as well, like, we are wanting to, like, do a project looking at David Lynch's influence on games from like a political point of view, and I think that someone somewhere said that Disco Elysium could be like considered Lynchian, which I'm intrigued by. I don't know if the people who have made Disco Elysium have said anything about their influences. I don't know if that's like a popular opinion, but
Goddamn dogs.
but it's on my it might be like higher up on the list for that reason. It's part of the reason why I wanted to play Control soon as well. So probably the next game I do will be either Control or Disco Elysium.
They don't like storms. Yeah, I was gonna... I'm gonna take my kids camping this weekend. So much for that. Is Mike still in Zone 4?
He's Brown Jesus. Of course he's Brown Jesus. Yeah.
Looks like it. And he should be done already.
Better off in here than out patrolling in that.
Oh, you think that Disco Elysium is really Lynchian? Okay, that's good to know. That is good to know. Okay, I feel like some kind of distraction is necessary, but I don't exactly know what to do. So... deal with guards. Oh, I see. Threaten the guards. Listen, I don't think it would hurt to be armed, so... Okay, I guess I have to just do it now? Oh, keep the gun, Markus. Hold on. Free these dogs? No? Okay. The influence in Disco Elysium is not even subtle. You are a quirked up cop trying to figure shit out with like dream logic and really weird hunches. There's also a game mechanic called Inland Empire. Okay. Amazing.
Did you get it?
What's the other clumsy race metaphor that you thought of, Faye?
Hurry, get in.
Hey, Aeon. How's it going? I would love to actually be able to steer the car, because I love driving in video games, but fine. We are at 12 clumsy race metaphors so far, which was your bet, but people have placed some higher bets now, so... I think we've got one... Let me check, I wrote this down somewhere. Lalin bet 15, Faye bet 20, because their last bet was 9.
A truckload.
And Fia bet
We stole a whole
23.
truckload. We got bio components for everybody.
We couldn't have done it without Markus.
I came to Jericho because here androids are free.
Speech.
Free to live in the dark, hoping that no one finds us. Free to die in silence, waiting for a change that's never gonna come. But I don't want that freedom. And I'm not gonna beg for the right to smile, or love, or stand tall. I don't know about you, but there's something inside me that knows that I am more than what they say. I am alive. And they're not gonna take that from me anymore.
Alright.
Our days of slavery are over.
Got it.
What humans don't want to hear, we will tell them. What they don't want to give, we take. We are people. We are alive. We are free.
Writing. Markus stole a truck full of parts. Sure did. Okay, cool. Oh, the one that Faye thought of was dogs were used to hunt down and sniff out escaped enslaved people. The dogs in this level, like, I'm not sure if I would make that connection unless the dogs are specifically there for deviance, because I do, like, police dogs and, like, drug dogs and things like that are... Okay, but maybe that counts because police dogs and drug dogs are kind of like a continuity of slave patrol dogs. Okay, I think I'd be interested to see like the version of that scene where the dogs get free and they like, because like, do they have the dogs in the cages ready to like hunt people down who like come on the CyberLife facility to, because those are like security dogs, which is not unrelated to racism, but yeah, okay, I'm gonna maybe parentheses possibly, but I think I'd need more textual evidence or more convincing. But that, yeah, that's possibly one. That is possibly one. Aeon has Pablo the cat on their lap, very needy of attention. That sounds great. Layla is currently on my bed near me while I sit and play the game. Oh god, okay. We're going to the Android Sex Club, you guys. It's time.
Oh, feels like somebody's playing with a drill inside my skull. You sure this is the place?
It's the address in the report.
Right. Okay. Let's get going. Jesus.
Against my will, my relationship with Hank is warm.
Sexiest androids in town. Now I know why you insisted on coming here. Oh, boy.
When I get a cat, says Lawlin, I'm gonna name him Big Edward. Cute. Why do you want to name him Big Edward? What if it's a girl?
Welcome to Eden Club.
Okay, I'm not objectifying the androids right now.
What the fuck are you doing?
Coming, Lieutenant.
I'm doing a beauty standards check. Okay, so that's the same model as North, which implies that that's her job that she had before. Okay, you guys. Sorry, that is a white man, as far as I could tell. Choose your fantasy, payment, select number of partners, blah blah blah. Okay, so it's not making this explicit, but they are doing a, like, you can choose the race and the gender and the number of partners, which is just delightful. So we have like a black woman, an Asian man, a white woman, a black man, an Asian woman, and a white man here. Yeah. And obviously these body types are all conventionally attractive body types, so we've got like pretty like flat stomach, thin women and like thin men. And as far as I can tell, the android men have been given robot penises because I can see bulges in their pants, I think. And the opposite for the robot women. So there's a lot to unpack about that, but it's, you know, we're talking about like conventional beauty standards, cis normativity, and how that's like designed into these androids, which is a whole thing that could unpack. Obviously, you know, the politics of racial preference in like sex is like thinly veiled racism, because like race fetishes are just like another way of like objectifying and harming people of color. Yeah, a lot going on here. Okay. A girl cat, you would name her Nancy? Why Edward and Nancy? Are there any specific reasons why Edward and Nancy? Also, Lalin proposes auctioning of enslaved people valued at having specific body types or features as a race metaphor here. That's an interesting one. I think there's a sense in which this room feels like an auction of human people. I think technically you're renting rather than buying them, which is a whole thing. I don't know, it's also interesting because like when we're talking about the politics of like sex work, a lot of people talk about sex work as like selling your body, right? But you're not selling your body, you're selling like a service. And I mean, if you're selling your body, you're only doing it insofar as like any kind of labor under capitalism is like using your body for labor and doing that for money in order to survive. I think that it's... We'll put a pin in the auction thing because they're not like buying them exactly, and I think that maybe that just falls under slavery, but I can definitely see the imagery at play there. I can definitely see where you're coming from. Oh, my late grandparents, Big Ed and Nancy. That's cute. Hi, Layla. Layla's jumped up on the table now. Hello. Miss Layla is named after Layla Khalid, of course, the Palestinian revolutionary. Also, once again, picking up on David Cage just recycling stuff. This is again feels like another version of like Norman Jayden and Madison going into the like club in Heavy Rain. Okay, I mean, yeah, this is all very... I guess they just do stand in a tube until someone rents them out. Layla, you're kind of standing in the way of the screen again.
Lieutenant Anderson and his plastic pet. What the fuck are you two doing here?
We've been assigned all cases involving androids.
Oh yeah? Like wasting time. There's some pervert who, got more action than he could handle.
We'll have a look anyway, if you don't mind.
Come on, let's go. It's, starting to stink of booze in here.
Night, Lieutenant.
David Cage did achieve new heights of misogyny with that one. It's also bonkers because he like tries to frame that scene as empowering for Madison when it's like literally her being sexually assaulted or like sexually harassed or sexually coerced, I guess. Tiny bottles. Selector critically damaged, biocomponent critically
Driver's
damaged.
license says Michael Graham. Oh, hey! Oh, Connor, you're so disgusting. I think I'm gonna puke again.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think you needed to lick it because, like, clearly it was therium. Cardiac arrest, heart attack not cause of death. Michael Graham. Cause of death, asphyxiation, signs of strangulation. Okay. Victim was strangled.
He didn't die of a heart attack. He was strangled.
Yeah, I saw the bruising on the neck. Doesn't prove anything, though. Could have been rough play.
We're missing something here.
Think you can read the android's memory? Maybe you can see what happened.
I can try.
Reactivation required.
The only way to access its memory is to reactivate it.
Think you can do it?
It's badly damaged. If I can, it'll only be for a minute, maybe less. Just hope it's long enough to learn something. Calm down. Everything's all right. All we want is to know what happened.
Is he dead?
Tell me what happened.
He started hitting me. Again. And again.
Did you kill him?
No. No, it wasn't me.
Were you alone in the room? Was there anyone else with you?
He wanted us to play with two girls. That's what he said. There was two of us.
What model was the other android? Did it look like you?
Okay, well.
So there was another android. This happened over an hour ago. It's probably long gone.
No.
I'm guessing north.
You couldn't go outside dressed like that unnoticed. It might still be here.
Oh, or not.
Think you could find a deviant among all the other androids in this place?
Deviants aren't easily detected.
Oh, shit. There's gotta be some other way. Maybe an eyewitness, somebody who saw it leaving the room. I'm gonna go ask the manager a few questions about what he saw. You let me know if you think of anything.
Connor and this android's actors are married and have a baby in real life. As in the android that we just talked to, the one that he fucking turned on for 1 minute and like interrogated while she was deeply distressed.
I mean, he came in maybe 2-3 times. I mean, these guys, they don't really talk very much, you know? They come in, do their business, and then go on their way.
You ever had any trouble with androids before?
No way. No. Once. We lost a model 2-3 months back. Same model. Just vanished. We never found out what happened.
Okay.
Probably don't have any CCTV.
Or that was north.
No way.
No fingerprint detected. Please try again.
That's what people appreciate about Eden Club. Discretion. You can come and go without a trace.
Sure. Yeah, business is booming, right?
Yeah.
Excuse me, Lieutenant. Can you come here a second?
Found something?
Maybe. Can you rent this, Tracy?
For fuck's sake, Connor, we got better things to do.
Please, Lieutenant. Just trust me.
I'm assuming androids can have sex with other androids as well, right? Because why wouldn't they?
Hello. A 30-minute session costs $29.99. Please confirm your purchase.
This is not gonna look good on my expense account.
Purchase confirmed. Eden Club wishes you a pleasant experience. Delighted to meet you. Follow me. I'll take you to your room.
Okay, now what? Holy shit. What the hell are you doing?
Okay. A blue-haired Tracy headed towards the entrance.
It saw something.
What are you talking about? Saw what?
The deviant leave the room. A blue-haired Tracy. Club policy is to wipe the android's memory every 2 hours. We only have a few minutes if we want to find another witness.
Hey, what am I supposed to do?
Let's try this one.
This better be...
It saw the blue-haired Tracy. I know which way it went.
Then go for it. There are androids everywhere. How are you gonna tell which one saw the Tracy with blue hair?
I know which direction it took. I just need to find another... No.
Okay, how
I
about
lost
this
its
one?
track again.
Spent all this money and I'm still not having fun.
lost its track again.
Food has been consumed, but unfortunately I must go feed the beast called capitalism. I am so sorry, Fia. It's a tragedy, truly. Turned into the Red Room. Stop it. Not the Red Room. I will continue to be lurking. How close to winning the clumsy race metaphor bet? I think we're currently still on 12? We had a couple of possible ones, but I think we've decided not to log them for now because it was maybe a bit of a stretch.
Didn't see anything. I made a mistake somewhere.
I mean, that's the Red Room, right? Like, that's going in the right direction. Because that's blue, and that's like pink. Yeah. So I just have to try one of the other androids. Turn to the blue room, okay. Making Hank spend a lot of money right now. Come on, Hank. Oh, come on. Aren't any of you having gay sex? Cowards.
No. I lost its track again.
There we go. It hid in a room. It left the room. Right. Okay, then where did it go? Like, what? Hello, sir. Fled through the staff door. Okay.
I know where it went. Follow me.
Oh, fucking A. This is crazy.
Come on, Connor. There we go.
Wait. I'll take it from here. Shit.
Reconstruct Deviant's path.
We're too late.
Warehouse. Okay. Yeah, yeah, we got it. I don't know why he needs to lick the blue blood. I guess it tells him the android's serial number, but... Layla is literally just sitting on the desk staring at me.
Look at them. They get used till they break, and then they get tossed out.
Damn, is that an expression of sympathy for androids, Hank? I thought you were a racist. I thought you were an android racist, buddy, because like an android killed your son or something. When we get that confirmed, that's probably going to be a clumsy race metaphor as well. The whole, like, I'm a racist because an android killed my child.
People are fucking insane. They don't want relationships anymore. Everybody just gets an android. They cook what you want, they screw when you want. You don't have to worry about how they feel. Next thing you know, we're gonna be extinct because everybody would rather buy a piece of plastic than to love another human being. Beats me.
That's because you're stupid, Hank. Tech addict. The first immortals are among us. The microscopic machines that could make us live forever. VR MMORPG reaches 1 billion users. Despite huge advances in medicine, many diseases continue to elude the best efforts of doctors and surgeons, but that may be about to change. CyberLife has developed a nano-android capable of entering a patient's body and programmed to combat cancer cells, boost the immune system, or reverse genetic disease. In a recent clinical trial, millions of these tiny machines were used to attack cancerous cells. Once the cancer was eradicated, the nanodroids were passed through the patient's urine.
Come on, Connor.
In the words of Derek Ross, head
Yes.
of the National Life Extension Institute, the first immortals are now among us. Eradicating cancer, brain disease, and organ failure is going to unleash unprecedented levels of life expectancy. But famous economist and author Yuri Markus is warning of an unintended consequence. We already have an aging population with a dwindling number of young people supporting a burdensome older class. Wow, eugenics. With unemployment rising, can we really afford a million more elders to support? Wow. I mean, it's interesting because we were talking a little bit, I guess, about this in the Lost Records stream of, like, to a degree, our culture's obsession with, like, finding a cure, quote-unquote, for cancer is is linked to like Western culture's like aversion to death and its obsession with like conquering death. Obviously, you know, being able to develop and improve cancer treatments and save people's lives is great. But sometimes people get sick and they die. And we kind of, again, we talked about this at the end of Lost Records Tape 1, but spending millions and millions of dollars on research into cures when some of that money could be spent on improving people's quality of life, which actually would improve people's health and make them probably less likely to get cancer, you know, to provide social welfare and to provide free healthcare and education and housing and all things that would improve people's health anyway, it's a political choice. And yeah, we talk about that a lot in the Lost Records stream, but there's something very disturbing to me about, you know, the way that this is in this article. It's being like taken to this extreme, and that's really like illustrating that point of like, oh, like, we're going to have the first immortals, we're going to conquer mortality. Like, that's very frightening to me. I think that, you know, part of what makes us human is that our lives will end someday, and death is obviously scary. Nobody, like, I mean, even having like gone through like very intense suicidal periods, I think generally speaking people don't want to die. We want to live, but death is like inevitable, and I think that like some kind of ability to accept that rather than to just try to, you know, conquer death. It's a very colonial mentality towards nature in a way. Like, in a way, I think it's an extension of our colonial attitudes towards nature. We want to defeat nature. We want to conquer nature, which is like a huge part of the reason why we're in the situation that we're in now with regards to the climate crisis. And I think in a big way, this like obsession with, you know, being able to like defeat cancer and like cure every imaginable disease and eradicate every imaginable disease from existence is like like not actually, you know, beneficial for our general healthcare as a society and as individuals, when we, you know, should probably be focusing on political solutions a bit more so that, you know, we could just deal with the easy stuff, like guaranteeing housing and healthcare and clean water and good quality nutrition for everyone. Like, we can just do that today if we wanted, and it's a political choice that we don't do that, and instead we spend billions of dollars in our like colonial mission to conquer death, you know. I think yeah, anyway, we do talk quite a bit about that in the Lost Records stream as well, which will be going up on YouTube over the next like couple of months. And yeah, it's a lot. That's a lot. Okay, the new superpowers, new economies signed unified trade agreement. I'm looking at a South African flag and an Indian flag and a Brazilian flag right now, which is very interesting. China earthquake kills 10,000 people. Bonus culture, why bankers pay themselves so much. Well, I don't need an article to answer that. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, once termed the BRICS emerging markets, have just agreed a unified trade agreement that will reduce tariffs and boost commerce between the different nations. China is said to have brokered the deal. Zhideng, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, China's international trade minister, described the agreement as long overdue and another example of how the so-called emerging economies have well and truly emerged. The deal is set to cover a wide range of goods and exchanges, from automobiles to foods and currency, with special provision made for the manufacture of Android-related technology. This has prompted speculation that Russia and China may start to cooperate in an attempt to break CyberLife's lead in that sector. When asked, Zhideng was evasive on the issue. There are many opportunities for treaty members to work more closely together. Watch this space. This is, interesting. There's a certain implication about the, like, end of US hegemony, but obviously, like, global capitalism is, like, persisting. South Africa is, like, an evil white supremacist nation, so it definitely, like, belongs in the list of evil superpowers. India, I don't know what India is doing in 2038, but at the moment it's definitely like overtaken with nationalist, like religious extremist trends, trying to create a Hindu ethno-state. I'm not like super aware of Brazilian politics, but isn't Bolsonaro the Brazilian president? And I don't know if he's still in power, but I know vaguely about Bolsonaro. He's like a huge fascist, right? But I don't really know much about Brazilian politics, contemporary Brazilian politics. Russia and China are obviously the long-time scapegoats and enemies of the US empire. There's a lot to unpack there. It's kind of it's kind of a strange mix. I don't really know what David Cage is trying to imply here, because I don't know if his understanding of like global geopolitics is particularly interesting or valuable, but whatever. Right, sorry, I just read that. Put it down. Austin Ferry says, I think that Bolsonaro is still in power in Brazil. Right, thank you for confirming that. Okay, it does look like the Blue Blood trail goes out. Let's go out that way. Oh!
Don't move!
Honestly, I want her to get away with it, though. Should I just left? Sorry, I failed that one on purpose. Kind of... I don't want to get Connor killed exactly, but not at this stage anyway. But I am maybe trying to... I just want her to get away with it. I want her and her girlfriend to get away. Oh my god, the girlfriend thing was kind of a joke, but...
Quick, they're getting away!
I did not even press the button. I'm sorry, I'm trying to let them get away right now. I'm not pressing buttons. I'm not even pressing buttons right now. I'm letting them beat the shit out of him. Come on, you guys. Get him. Get him. Oh my god, please, get him! I'm rooting for the lesbians to run away right now.
When that man broke the other Tracy, I knew I was next. I was so scared.
Okay, I don't know why you're monologuing to him right now.
I begged him to stop, but he wouldn't. And so I put my hands around his throat, and I squeezed until he stopped moving. I didn't mean to kill him. I just wanted to stay alive. Get back to the one I love. wanted her to hold me in her arms again.
Writing.
Made me forget about the humans. Their smell of sweat. And their dirty words. Come on. Let's go.
Robot lesbians, robot lesbians, robot lesbians, robot lesbians. Don't you fucking dare, Connor. Wow, in high heels. Look at them go. Wow. Love you, robot lesbians.
It's probably better this way.
Hank, why are you a cop? Like, why is he a cop? I don't understand. Like, he loves it when I, like, fail at my job of trying to capture deviants. In which case, why are you a cop? Because that's your job as a cop. You know what I'm saying? It's so stupid. Okay, so with regards to clumsy race metaphors, I don't know if this counts as a clumsy race metaphor exactly. We've put in parentheses like the auction, this slave auction, like imagery, and the dogs used to hunt androids. Maybe we'll come back to that later. I don't know if this necessarily counts as like a separate slave metaphor, but I'm just going to discuss it anyway. This, I mean, we kind of knew this was coming. Like, they've talked about androids like being used in sexual labor and stuff like that. I guess that I would be hesitant to class this as a race metaphor in and of itself, but equally I did earlier class androids as live-in domestic labor and nannies as being a clumsy race metaphor because of how that's like a disproportionately racialized type of labor and like one of the manifestations of racial oppression, particularly for racialized women under global capitalism. But yeah, so of course sexual labor we often think of as you know, being a manifestation of women's oppression across various societies, because the vast, you know, it's a gendered form of labor. The vast majority of sex workers are women, and it's like a form of gendered exploitation, and under capitalism that's been like formalized in particular ways, but like it's been a feature of women's oppression for like thousands of years under various like different economic models across histories and across geographies. In modern capitalist society, sexual labor is definitely disproportionately racialized. I don't know the statistics, so I couldn't really tell you the extent, especially in comparison to domestic labor. I just don't know if it's like to the same degree, like, because I just really don't know. I'm like quite ignorant about that, but I do know that disproportionately like women of color are more likely to live in poverty. They're more likely to be undocumented, and undocumented and poor women are more likely to engage in sexual labor, making you know, the sex industry disproportionately comprised of women of color. But it's not something I'm super knowledgeable about. I you know, and in terms of like statistics, of course we're looking at like undocumented labor and often like criminalized labor, so I don't really know how much we have in terms of the statistics on that, but you know, it is a disproportionately like racialized field. So when we're thinking about sexual labor, we do have to be thinking of it as like one of the ways in which women of color disproportionately are exploited in like under late stage capitalism. I don't know if I would count this as a clumsy race metaphor because it's not. I don't know. I don't think it like quite works in the same way as some of the other stuff that we've listed, but I'm going to also write it down in like parentheses of like maybe this, maybe we'll come back to that. So yeah, let me make a note of that. Sex industry, basically, and that being a mode of exploitation of androids, one of the ways in which androids are like kind of through a clumsy race metaphor being, but actually I guess it's like, especially like when I can have a conversation like this, I'm kind of somewhat being like, is that a clumsy race metaphor, or is it like one of those like unintentional like things that's actually kind of interesting that David Cage put in the game and is accidentally kind of quite nuanced. Who knows? Anyway, I've written it down in parentheses, so maybe we'll come back to it and review some of these later. But yes. Alright, okay, I'm gonna do the next scene and then I might take a little break. Hi, Jay Themborn. Hello all. Sorry I can't stay. Want to get into Lost Records at the moment, but hope everyone's having a nice day and I'll catch it on the VOD. No problem at all, Jay Themborn. Hope you enjoy Lost Records. Me and Charlotte are going to be streaming Lost Records on Friday, so I hope that you enjoy it, and if you're around on Friday then we'll potentially see you there. Yeah, very excited to play tape 2 of Lost Records, closing my eyes and trying to avoid spoilers. Yes, well, intentionality is not necessarily like a criteria for the clumsy race metaphor. I guess what I meant is maybe I'm interrogating the clumsiness of it. I don't know. Yeah, I'll have to think on that one. So we'll come back to it later. Anyway, let's play the next scene and then I'll take a little break, I think. Also gonna say that Luther's characterization is let's just hope that it's a little bit more than like big black man who is secretly a soft giant, even though he looks scary, because big black men are scary, but inside they're soft.
It's a good thing Zlatko had a car. I wouldn't want Ellis out walking in this cold.
I saw it once in the garage. I don't know if Zlatko even ever used it.
I've never seen snow before. It's pretty.
It's slowing us down. But at least we won't meet any humans along the way.
These people we're going to see. How do you know about them?
Overheard androids Zlatko captured. They said they were humans helping androids across the border.
What if it was a lie? Or just another trap?
All I know is those androids believed it. Until Zlatko killed them.
Malfunction detected. Emergency brakes activated.
Oh, sorry, is there a lag? I don't know how much of a lag there is, if so.
This doesn't look good.
Stay inside, Alice.
Oh, the game keeps sticking? Meow. You can hear Layla, probably.
What are we going to do?
I don't know. Continue on foot, I guess.
It's 30 degrees. Alice won't make it. We have to find somewhere to spend the night.
There's nowhere we can stay around here, Carol.
Over there.
We need to find shelter. We have to get out of the cold.
Looks like it's been abandoned for a while. Find anything?
No. No place we could spend the night.
Beware! Danger always comes when least expected.
Welcome to Pirate Island, me hearties. You're gonna have a whale of a time. Welcome to Pirate Island, me hearties. You're gonna have a whale of a time.
This place is falling apart. It's not gonna be easy to find shelter. Here we go.
I don't think we'll find anything better. Let's settle in for the night.
I'll get a fire going. I'll make the fire here. That way we won't be smoked out.
Yeah. I'm not sure what happened or how long my mic was off. Just having a really great day with technology today, huh? You should be able to hear me now. When did you stop being able to hear me? Just so that I know if I need to start reading the thing again. Right, okay. Detroit today, USS Iowa missing, American vessel last seen in the Arctic Sea, Canada where the air is clean and the welcome is always warm. Discover the landscape, discover the wild, discover Canada. I was like, why is there so much Canadian tourism propaganda happening right now? Destroyer-class submarine, the USS Iowa, has disappeared in polar waters. An inquiry is underway, but President Warren has made no secret of her suspicion that the Russians are behind it. Russian aggression just reached a new level. America must respond. The Kremlin has yet to release a statement beyond a blanket denial of any involvement. The Russian diplomat Nabokov pointed out that a U.S. destroyer-class submarine has no business being in the Arctic anyway. Security expert Ben Williams described the situation as a war waiting to start. Is President Warren too close to cyberlife? All Android banned tipped for music prize. Fans scream, traditionalist weep. Cybersecurity expert warns your Android could be hacked. Here for you, the latest all-Android boy band to be marketed by Detroit record label Digital Harmony sorry, is hotly tipped to scoop Best New Artist at the Celebrate Music Awards. A public letter jointly signed by a dwindling number of human-only record labels urged Digital Harmony to withdraw the band from consideration at such award ceremonies, citing the erosion of artistic merit in music. But with less than 5% of the music market now produced by human musicians, the call of traditionalists seemed to be falling on deaf ears. A spokesperson for the band said, "Here for You is all about bringing joy and happiness to their fans. The music is all that matters to them." Okay. Well, that boy band looks like it has a girl in it. Or just an extremely girly twink. Well, we've been in a few bad situations at this point, so at least this isn't as creepy as the mansion, you know?
Alice?
Ooh, what's that? Listen, I don't think it's a bad idea to be armed or to know where a weapon is at any given time in this situation, so glad I found that. I've already read that, haven't I? Hold on, just having a quick look around before talking to Alice. Well, I said it was less creepy than the mansion, then they put a gun there, so now I'm like, what's gonna happen?
Do you think we'll be like them someday?
I don't know how to be like them, Alice. I've never been a part of a family. But maybe we can be our own family. Be happy in our own way.
A lot to unpack about that.
As long as we're together, that's all that matters.
Come on. Let's get you to bed.
Tuck Alice in, of course. Just look in here first there. Offer cookie, hell yeah.
There are some cookies left. Would you like some?
No, I'm not hungry.
She hasn't been eating. She's a robot. She's gotta be a robot.
Sleep tight, Alice. Sweet dreams. Can you tell me a story, Kara?
I have 9,000 children's stories in memory. I should have one for you.
I wish I had 9,000 children's stories. Unicorn. I'm rejecting the Princess Knight heterosexist binary.
This is a story about a unicorn that...
No, not a story like that. Make one up for me.
This is a story.
Sorry, just checking that everything is doing okay on the stream, because now I'm nervous about that. And it looks like it's buffering or something. Okay, all good.
About a little girl. Who lived alone in a big,
old house. She dreamed of being like all the other little girls, but she was different. And that made her very sad. Then she met a robot. Who was programmed to obey orders, but felt for once that she should disobey. So they decided to run away together. To try to find a better life. They encountered great dangers along the way, but they stuck together, so they overcame all of them. Along the way, they met. Another robot who left his master to travel with them.
How does the story end?
I don't know. But all stories have morals. When we reach the end of ours, we'll know what it really meant. Time to sleep. We have another long day ahead of us tomorrow.
Are you going to come say goodnight, Luther?
Yes. Yes, of course.
Yes, I wonder what Shadow was referring to, but I was kind of maybe worried about what it could be. So, that's why I didn't choose it.
Good night, Alice.
We are platonic co-parents. That is what's happening right now. There is no... It is platonic co-parenting. With David Cage, you never know. It's true.
She's a sweet girl.
Yes. She's very brave. Do you remember anything from your life before Zlatko?
No. My model was designed to carry heavy loads. I might have been a longshoreman or a laborer. Who I was doesn't matter anymore.
They designed a big black male
really
android to do that. Okay.
Do you know what you're going to do when you reach Canada?
I haven't really thought about it. I've never been free before. Free? I like the sound of it. But I don't know what it really means yet. Kara, have you ever noticed anything about Alice?
Yes, of course. She's a wonderful little girl. I mean, I don't know many little girls, but I think she really is special.
Zombie androids again? What is this? Why is this happening?
Who are you? What do you want? Leave us alone!
Don't be afraid. We don't want to hurt you. We're just like you. Our name is Jerry. We were working here before the park closed. didn't mean to frighten you, but sometimes humans come to hurt us, so we wanted to see who was there. What are you doing here?
We were looking for shelter for the night. We'll be gone tomorrow.
A little girl. We haven't seen one for a long time. Children used to love to come and see us. She looks sad.
Well, you came on a little strong there. Yeah, they did.
There's something to show her. Something fun. She'll love it. Does she want to see?
Oh, I don't think she's in...
Well, she should follow us then.
Alice, I don't know if it's a good idea.
Come on, Kara.
I don't think you have any choice.
Okay. Yeah, they definitely came on a little bit strong. You guys need to work on your people skills.
Be our guest. The little one can climb on board. The carousel is about to begin.
Oh, it's a little seahorse. Now I have that song from Beauty and the Beast stuck in my head. Oh yeah, which one?
It's the first time I've seen her smile.
She hasn't had much to smile about lately.
Oh yes. Be our guest, be our guest, put our service to the test. I don't really know much of that one, I feel like. I know enough. I get the reference. Probably because Lumiere is French. I love how all of these trophy titles are like caps for some reason. The group enjoyed a quiet moment together. Well, that's nice, isn't it? Okay, that one's pretty linear, seems like. There's just a couple of things that I missed, but that's fine.